Good day. This is Pastor JT from Affinity Missionary Baptist Church here in the lovely city of Cleveland, Ohio, early on this Thursday morning, Throwback Thursday, as I share with you the word on the net. That is a shout out to my brother Terrence. He told me last week, Pastor, make sure you say it's Hump Day Wednesday and Throwback Thursday. So Terrence Young, this is a shout out to you, my brother. All right, our passage of scripture will come from the book of Leviticus chapter 26, verses, this is a long one, verses 40, 41, and 42. I hope I have enough screen to put it up there. All right, here it goes. But if they confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their ancestors, their treachery against me, and also their continued hostility to me, so that I in turn was hostile to them and brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised heart is humbled, and they make amends for their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob. I will remember also my covenant with Isaac and also my covenant with Abraham, and I will remember the land. This is an interesting depiction in the book of Leviticus. It sounds like that there's a conversation between the leader of the children of Israel, Moses, and God. It sounds like that the children of Israel committed a deep, drastic sin. As a matter of fact, it's a different level of sin. It's called an iniquity. And God having a conversation with Moses, he's in so many words letting them know, hey, somebody has to admit that what they did is wrong. And God is not budging on anything until they admit that they're wrong. And when they do that, the Bible tells us in this passage of scripture that God will forgive them because he remembers the promise that he made to their ancestors. Here's the caveat to everything that's going on. Sometimes you've got to just admit what you are doing is wrong. Because not only are your immediate connected lives are at stake, but your inheritance is at stake. In essence, what God is saying to Moses to remind the people, don't block your blessing because you are so haughty that you don't want to forgive. You don't want to admit that what you have done is wrong. I know that's a struggle for all of us. When we are caught in a situation, the first thing we want to do is point the blame at someone else. First thing we want to do is act like Teflon and try to explain our way out of it. But when you create a habit of immediately apologizing, immediately recognizing that what you have done is wrong, it will become easier, not only for you, but also for those who are susceptible to point out what you've done is wrong. I've seen in the life of being a pastor and absorbing responsibilities of leading a flock, I find that as one of the most challenging aspects is to come into an environment where people whose personalities have been ingrained and solidified, and people not saying to another person, hey, this is wrong. In essence, when you say nothing, you are enabling that behavior. And you're hurting that person by not telling them that what they're doing is wrong. That's the quality of a strong leader. A leader who's able to put themselves out there and say, look, the direction we're going is wrong. The decisions we're making is outdated. We've got to look at things from a different perspective, because if you continue to do the same things the same way, expecting different results, well, you know the end of that. I think it's important that there's a twofold impact on acknowledging when you're wrong. There are times in which you can easily admit it, and there are times in which sometimes people that love you the most are gonna call you out on your stuff. Yeah, people that say nothing to you and let you continue walking down a long walk down a short pier, they don't care about you. But those that are willing to risk themselves to tell you you're wrong, those are the ones that love you the most. Look, I hope that blessed you on today like it blessed me. Continue to connect with me each and every work day as I share with you the word on the net. Take care.